Welcome to Popcorn History with the Freeborn County Historical Museum, Library, and Village. I'm Stephanie Kibler, Director at the museum. Joining me is Risha Lilienthal, Collections and Exhibit Coordinator, along with Reggie Bauer, Operations Manager at Power 96. We are continually popping ideas at the museum, and these pops lead to great discoveries. Today's topics arose out of a conversation we had on Cocktail History while featuring The Dark and Stormy, which led us to Rifles and Rainbows.
Rainbows and Rifles.
April is Tornado Awareness Month, and as we discovered, Freeborn County has seen its fair share.
Yes.
Not just tornadoes, but severe weather in general. But when you look at the tornado index, as we were talking, I think the state average is like 135 on the tornado index, which is a historical index of weather in Minnesota, United States. Right. Freeborn County is at 262.
Yeah, and between 1950 and 2019, there were 52 tornadoes in the county.
Wow.
Right?
That's one.
We're like 14 of them just on that one day in 2010.
Oh my gosh. Oof.
That was a bad one.
I've heard.
That's the first time that I remember, at least for this area, seeing the National Guard come in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was National Guardsmen everywhere. Even like you'd be driving down a country road. I can remember going out by Beaver Lake in Steele County, and hey, there's National Guards. They were blocking the roads because there were so many power lines down.
Wow.
Oh, no.
So they were here for safety and to prevent looting, apparently. But
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, right? Who knew?
Looting what? Anyway.
So this actually, so as we were talking about this, then I had to go and I was looking at songs about storms, so that was my inspiration in the background.
Oh.
I didn't realize I have a lot of favorite songs that have storms.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not favorites, but good songs.
Sure.
The Doors, Riders of the Storm.
Yep.
Classic song.
Yep.
Bob Dylan, Shelter from the Storm. But one of my favorites is Delta Ray, Chasing Twisters.
Ooh.
So I recommend you listen to that one.
When you say that, the one that comes to my mind is, I don't know if this is the title, but Thunder Only Happens When It's Raining.
Who sings that?
Yeah.
I'm going to type this up here quick.
Oh, I know the song. I know some of the lyrics. I can hear it in my head. Huh. That's interesting. I totally forgot about that one. But there's tons, so it was kind of fun.
Oh, it's
like,
Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, that's
Fleetwood Mac.
I should have known that. We play it on our station.
Oh, my God. Okay. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is interesting. In 1881, there was a movement in Freeborn County to establish a signal service system of benefit to farmers. That's a quote from Irv Sorensen, who did Highlights and Shadows. It was proposed to shoot up rockets whenever weather bulletins were received in the villages. And rockets were to be of various colors.
I love that.
Representing different atmospheric changes to help farmers to anticipate the weather. And then Irv quotes, "The science of agriculture promises to receive its share of attention," which I thought was great. But then I got to thinking, my God, okay, whenever weather bulletins are received in the villages in 1881.
Yeah.
How are they getting those?
You're right. Are they like on horseback or something?
So I had to go and Google. The Smithsonian Institution started in 1849 supplying weather instruments to telegraph companies to establish an extensive observation network. By the end of 1849, 150 volunteers throughout the U.S. were reporting weather observations to the Smithsonian. And by 1860, there were 500 stations.
Wow.
Okay, wait. Telegraph, would that have been like Morse code?
Yep, that's the one where they do the little tappy taps.
Fun.
And it beeps at you.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, here comes a weather alert. Oh, I got to go run light the rocket purple.
So let me ask you then, light the rocket, does that mean like the exhaust or whatever, they would like have certain chemicals in there to make it a different color smoke or something?
I'm guessing so.
That would be my guess.
I don't, and we found nothing that said this actually did come to fruition.
Okay.
But just the fact that they were thinking about
it.
an early weather alert system.
Yeah.
It sounds more fun than what we've got now.
You didn't have your local TV weatherman or your phone or something.
Or the sirens.
The big siren that goes off.
I'd rather see a pretty color, Yeah.
Right. Oh, look, it's pink.
Does remind me a little bit of WCCO up in the cities. They have their little like weather. They like color code on their building downtown Minneapolis.
They do.
I don't remember which color means what, but I know they have some sort of color coded light on their building that they put
I'm
out.
so gonna send this to them.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they can find something.
Well, I'm just thinking. Ask them if this is where they got the idea for the color coding on their building. That's so funny. I just thought that was really cool. The fact that they picked colors.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know like what color, like what was green, what was blue. How did they?
And if it was already raining or already like having the weather happen, could you still see the colors?
Oh, well, probably not if it was raining, because wouldn't it just wash it? Yeah. And how far? How big a rocket?
Yeah. Did it only cover a range of a few miles visual, or?
Right.
I thought that was really cool.
That's
and then,
really
so like
cool.
if you had a telegraph and the next town didn't, did they have to watch for your rocket? And then they shoot off their own?
Like lighting the fire
in Lord of the Rings,
yeah. Like the beacon.
Gondor calls for aid. The National Weather Service in Gondor has issued a severe weather alert.
I feel like we always go Lord of the Rings or
well, it's iconic.
Have we done we did Wizard of Oz
and we talked about Hunger Games.
Games.
Yeah.
Funny.
No, but then when you had talked about the different colors and them meaning different things, I said, "Oh, weddings," and you looked at me like, "What?" And that's because I'm really into like symbolism, especially in the Victorian era. And in the Victorian era, they had wedding dresses meant different things depending on the colors that they wore, because up until Queen Victoria, pretty much most women just wore like their Sunday best or different colors depending on whatever they kind of wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And Victoria, she was married in 1840. So before that, they wore different colors. And even after that, they still wore different colors because everybody didn't hop on that train right away.
Sure.
But eventually came to pretty much everybody wears white because of Queen Victoria.
Yep.
Wouldn't you, if I was getting married now, I'd like to be like non-Victorian and do something crazy.
Do you have a color that you'd want to wear?
I think rainbow.
Oh, you go rainbow.
Why not?
Whoa.
Might as well.
Have you seen that like iridescent wedding dress? That
Why
like
not?
it just like it glows in different colors in the dark. I think that's
like
super cool.
Okay, loaded with ruffles, just like flamboyant it up,
Yes.
right?
But in the 16th and 17th centuries, girls in their teens would be married in a pale green as a sign of fertility.
Oh, interesting.
And this, a mature girl in her 20s wore a brown dress, and then older women wore black.
Well. Just say, given the way my last marriage ended, I could see black.
Oh, no. And then from the Saxon times into the 18th century, poorer brides would wear white because they saw it as a public statement that she brought nothing to their marriage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Isn't that terrible? But then once it got to kind of Victorian times, they used to do these little like rhymes and stuff that connected with weddings. And so the color of the gown was thought to influence one's future life. And so white meant they chose right. Blue meant love will be true. Yellow, ashamed of her fellow.
Oh, jeez.
Red, wish herself dead. Black, wish herself back. Gray, travel far away. Pink, of you he'll always think. And green, ashamed to be seen.
Oh my gosh.
Some of those so terrible.
So which color would you pick?
Oh gosh. I mean, my favorite color is blue.
That works.
And that one's a nice one. Love
Yeah.
will be
Nice
true,
one. That's
you know.
a nice one.
And that, then I have a few of our dresses that we have in collection. I kind of pulled some of those. So the first one I looked at was a blue one, and it was a royal blue velour dress.
Ooh, velour.
Yeah, it was worn by Dorothy Swanson when she married Walmus Raymond Demmer on September 29th of 1937. So, you know, way past the Victorian time. But it was at Heartland Lutheran Church, and they were married by Reverend Jacob Wolfsburg. The dress has gold leaves with silver jewel ornamentation down the sides.
Ooh. And we're going to start displaying some of these.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
'cause
me
we
too.
have quite a few lovely pieces. But there was also another little rhyme that they had where it said, Marry on Monday for health, Tuesday for wealth, Wednesday, the best day of all, Thursday for crosses, Friday for losses, and Saturday for no luck at all.
Well, that explains something too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But the Sabbath day, so Sunday, was out of the question.
And it kind of still is. You don't see a lot of people
Yeah,
getting married on
I don't
a Sunday.
think I actually. I think I've seen one Sunday wedding my entire life. I think one of my cousins got married on a Sunday, and it was confusing to me because I was like, "Isn't this a Saturday thing?" And now I got friends that are getting married on all different days of the week now,
Right,
but I'm sure
yeah.
that's partially because of COVID. But
Friday night, I remember my first Friday night wedding. I thought, this is weird. Work all day and go to a wedding?
Saying that, but
Right.
I think I've mostly been to Friday weddings. Yeah. But this Dorothy Swanson with her royal blue velour dress, she was married on a Wednesday, so that was the best day of all. And she also wore blue, so love will be true. So she had a very nice wedding dress and wedding day, I guess.
Wow.
We also have a black dress, a black wedding dress in our collection that was Solveig Peterson's. She does Hardanger, and she was in an article in the Albert Lee Tribune in 2019 about her Hardanger.
Wow.
And so she...
Which is like a needlepoint.
Yeah, yep. And she gave us this black wedding dress, which I also saw black was especially popular in Scandinavia for wedding dresses. So I don't think she wished herself back. That, you know.
But you don't know.
I don't know. That's very true. We do also have a green wedding dress, which that one was ashamed to be seen. And she got married on a Tuesday for wealth. But the wedding dress was worn by Anna Rofshus. I'm not sure how to...
Can't help you there.
It's Rofshus.
yeah, that's how
Rofshus.
I would pronounce it.
She married Alfred Lincoln Kvenvold on June 19th, 1900. So she had a green dress that had a lot of cream kind of pieces connected to it. And it had this, it's kind of cool boning in the front too that it has. Yeah, that one we recently got into. I was excited about that one because we also have her daughter's wedding dress, which is pink.
Oh, fun.
Pink is of you he'll always think, and she was married on a Sunday, so you know she's out of the question.
So we're talking about doing a clothing exhibit. Maybe
Yes.
our first one should just be wedding dresses.
Yeah, that would be really
Because
fun.
it'll be around that time of year
Yep.
that weddings are popular. That could be really cool.
Yeah.
And this one, the pink one, her name was Hazel. She was married in 1928, and it looks really 20s. It's got like a sailor top. It's like in two pieces.
Cute.
It's really cute. It's really fun. We also have her shoes.
Fun.
For a lot of the wedding dresses we have their matching shoes that they wore with it, which I think
nice.
is really neat.
Who did Hazel marry?
She, oh gosh, I didn't have that written down. You got me. I'd have to look.
I was just curious. I
Yeah.
have an Aunt Hazel.
Aw.
I had an aunt, a great Aunt Hazel.
Do you know if
Sure.
her maiden name was Kvenvold?
I'm going to guess no. I would think I would remember that.
Would
but
she have been married in the late 20s, do you think?
Possibly.
Oh. So maybe.
Not like there weren't a dozen Hazels around.
That's true. We also do have a tan suit. So that's not a dress, and it's tan. So I don't know what to say about that one. But she was...
all the rules.
Yeah. Cleo Sandcamp. She was married in the 1950s.
And she wore a suit.
She wore a suit.
Can you imagine? I bet you she was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Can I ask, was Sandcamp spelled with a K?
Yes.
Maybe he's still there, but back in Hastings, one of the gym teachers we had was Mr. Sandcamp, and he was pretty cool.
Nice. What was it? Oh, no. She married a Gerald Brown, so maybe it was her sibling's child.
Sure,
I don't know.
Yeah.
A nephew, a niece.
Yeah, but they both ended up living in Freeborn County their whole life. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you popped out the wedding idea, and I must have been a dark day because I went to shotgun.
As in shotgun wedding or shotgun to solve this issue?
Well, I went to shotgun wedding, but gee, Reggie.
Right?
But and it really, I wasn't even thinking shotgun. We just got this in, not like days ago,
Right.
week ago. We got in, and I don't know how to say this last name. We got in a Japanese rifle with a bayonet from Harlan Tuchtenhagen.
I was thinking Tuchtenhagen.
Tuchtenhagen. That sounds way better than what I said. We're gonna go with Harlan Tuchtenhagen. Who was serving during World War II in Guam, and this Japanese chrysanthemum. The Japanese chrysanthemum was scratched off of the barrel, so they used to have that emblem.
Right.
So this is something he likely took off of a Japanese soldier and then went on to use during World War II. And then it also had the matching bayonet, which is kind of rare to find the two pieces. So I thought that was really fascinating. And then this was kind of I don't think the Navy still does this anymore, but maybe they do. We should look into that. This is interesting that you have this little note in here that the Navy was the only branch that would take Harlan because he was colorblind.
Yep. He tried to go to every single other branch, but the Navy was the only one that would take him.
Although I know the Marines take colorblind because I know a colorblind Marine. So maybe it's all changed. Maybe they take now. I wonder why. Why would you not take somebody who was colorblind?
Well, if you have to fly, pilots can't be colorblind.
Well, that would make sense. So Air Force would make sense.
Yeah. Otherwise, my only other guess would be if it affects your ability to shoot accurately or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think, but maybe. I don't know.
I'm not colorblind. I don't know how it, because there's different levels of colorblindness too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just are only missing one color. Sometimes it's a whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be weird, wouldn't it? Well, maybe it's not because you've never had known anything different. You've always been colorblind.
Yeah.
Seems strange. And so this is a really pretty piece. I mean, really, it was a really nice piece. We got in
very good condition.
Yeah. So eventually that will be on display.
Yep.
Sadly, when Harlan returned from the war, he died shortly after. He wasn't back home very long. He died in a work-related accident on Easter Monday. And he left his wife Lorraine and two little boys, with her expecting a third child, right before his 29th birthday.
Wow.
That's young.
Oh, isn't that awful? So you go through World War II.
Right.
And he was an employee of the Interstate Gas Company, and he and another worker were asphyxiated while they were working on a high-pressure gas line serving the Hawthorne School at Albert Lee's North Edge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, terrible. They started to search for the two after they failed to report in at the close of working day. So kind of a sad ending there to that history. Both men were, this says here, in their early 30s, but Harlan was 28.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I thought this will be an interesting subject, and then I got done with it, and I thought,
Like,
"Aw,
yeah.
that's so sad."
Yeah.
The Interstate Power Company that he worked for, we have a nice photograph of the annual picnic that they had for their employees that has Harlan and his son. When his son was just, a little like toddler, he's holding him in the back of that group photo. It's really sweet.
There's some nice photos came in with that rifle. There were really several that were quite. I thought, I'll bring those along, but
Well, you can't see it.
can't. I'm struggling with this. There's no video on a podcast thing,
Well, yeah.
but I get it.
Yeah.
The Interstate Power Company, they, I keep seeing these old photos, of Albert Lee that had this huge, like, tower in it. And I never really knew what it was, but it was the what is that? The Interstate Power Company.
The power tower?
I'm waving my hand at it.
I know. Let's just start throwing things out. It was the Flagstaff.
No. The smokestack? Is that what they called it?
Smokestack? Yeah,
with
that makes sense.
with the power company they're building, and that was built in 1922.
Now I know where you.
Yeah.
I see the photo now. Yes.
Yeah.
The smokestack.
Okay,
yes.
it was the smokestack. But they built that in 1922, and it was the tallest landmark at the time, other than buildings, in the state.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in 1922. And at about 1925, the Interstate Power Company bought the Minnesota Gas and Electric Company, and they took over that area. So that's where Harlan worked. And they, for nearly 5 decades, they provided electricity for the communities in the area. Yeah, and in the 1970s, that's when they kind of started going down and doing more doing more of a standby basis with electricity.
Sure.
And in 1979, they made the decision to demolish the Albert Lee power plant and move to another, location for things. But most people thought that they were going to just implode the tall tower. That's
because.
That's apparently the method that they used. They were just like, well, just implode it, but they were afraid that that was going to hurt the other buildings around it. Just a slight miscalculation could cause some major damages.
Right.
So they decided to literally take it apart brick by brick.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yep. So the company that built it in 1922 came back to dismantle it.
Wow.
Holy cow.
And so they put up a scaffold and, brick by brick, top to bottom, they pulled it all down for several months.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm speechless.
You're
I
like
just
gonna be dumbfounded.
I'm thinking I can picture I've got the picture in my head, and I'm thinking, number one, tallest building in the state.
Right.
That's some scaffolding.
Landmark.
Yeah.
Tallest landmark in the state. Okay, that's some scaffolding.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, how long did it take you to climb up that scaffolding?
Oh my gosh.
That's
Get a workout just going up once.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I swear I can see the 1970s Interstate Power logo in my head.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if it's right. But I feel like there was a lightning bolt and like a little guy with a light bulb head.
Aw,
and I don't know if I'm thinking of this right. Like a little stick man with a light bulb head.
Oh, yeah. Is he red?
No.
Oh. I'm thinking of a different guy.
I don't think he was red. So I don't know, but in my head, that's just, anyway, that's what flashed into my brain.
Well, and I was thinking about the dentist mobile, too, because he would plug into all of what the Interstate Power Company provided.
Oh, sure.
It was, we talked about it. We'll flash back to last podcast for a moment, because we were talking about delivery methods. And after that, I had found we have there was a postal worker in Clark's Grove, a woman who was 27 years. She was the postal delivery person in Clark's Grove. And I thought, that was another one. We could have touched on some of
That's another
the
delivery.
postal mobile.
Yeah.
Which could have a couple different meanings.
Oh. Postal?
Stephanie's a little dark today.
Going postal.
Yeah, right. Shotgun weddings.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Rainbows and rifles.
Yay.
Everybody's mouths are agape. Let's have some popcorn.
Right.
Yeah.